All right, let's just jump right in. Have you ever walked away from a poker table just completely baffled, wondering how you keep losing to players who seem to be making every mistake in the book? Well, if that sounds familiar, you've come to the right place. We are going to lay out a proven blueprint to turn those frustrating nights into consistent, predictable wins. So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to get a handle on the low-stakes landscape, who you're actually playing against. Then we'll pull back the curtain on the winning formula, this thing called tag. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, pre-flop power plays and a post-flop profit plan. And we'll wrap it all up with what might be the most crucial part of all, mastering your mental game. Okay, first things first. Before you can win, you have to know the territory. In low-stakes cash games, your typical 1-2 no-limit hold'em game, it's a very specific kind of jungle with some very predictable creatures in it. And this right here, this quote is everything. You need to burn this into your brain. The number one complaint you hear about these games is, ugh, they call with anything. But you have to realize, that's not a problem. That's the entire opportunity. Their biggest weakness is your greatest strength. They are not there to fold. They are there to call. They are your personal ATMs. And what's wild is just how predictable this landscape is. You've got your tight passive player, the nit, who's basically terrified to play a hand unless it's pocket aces. Easy to avoid. Then you have the loose aggressive wild card, who's just blasting away with constant crazy aggression. But our bread and butter, our primary target, is the loose passive player, the calling station. This player plays way too many hands, hates folding, and is the absolute reason our simple strategy works so well. Spotting who's who is step one to taking all their chips. So how do we attack this environment full of calling stations? You might think it's with some complex, high-level bluffing strategy. It's not. It's actually way simpler. It's a powerful and honestly a devastatingly effective core strategy. And the secret is to become a tight, aggressive player, or TAG for short. It's a really simple two-part formula. Tight just means you're being super selective. You're picky. You only play strong starting hands. And aggressive means that when you do decide to play one of those hands, you come out firing. You're betting, you're raising, you're taking control. And this just lays out the whole dynamic perfectly. Look at the difference. They're playing way too many weak hands, just passively calling. But you are playing only a few strong hands, and you're the one driving the action. You're putting them in these tough, confusing spots over and over again, while your decisions, they become much easier. Okay, so how do we actually do this? Well, it all starts before we even see a flop. The decisions you make right here with just your two starting cards build the entire foundation for whether a hand is going to be profitable or not. Let me ask you a question. Just think about it for a second. The last time you sat down to play, out of all the hands the dealer pitched you, what percentage did you actually get involved in? The real answer for a winning player might actually shock you. This is the percentage of hands you should be folding. Yeah, 80%. That means 4 out of every 5 hands you're dealt go right into the muck. Your most profitable weapon at these stakes isn't a fancy bluff, it's the fold button. It's patience. You're an ambush predator, just waiting for the right hand in the right spot. And it all comes down to these 3 golden rules. Rule number 1, stop limping. That's just calling the big blind. If a hand is good enough to see a flop, it's good enough to raise with. Take control. Rule 2, position is everything. The later you get to act, the more info you have. So you should be playing almost all of your hands from late position. And rule 3, play solid hands. We're talking big pocket pairs, ace, king, and in the right spot, maybe some suited connectors, like a 7 and 8 of hearts. Sticking to these rules is what keeps you out of trouble later. All right, so you've done everything right. You waited patiently, you got a strong hand, you raised it up pre-flop, now the flop is out. This is where the money is made. So the question is simple. How do you get paid? How do you get the most chips out of those calling stations? Now, before we talk about what to do, let's be crystal clear about what not to do. Stop trying to bluff calling stations. It doesn't work. You cannot force someone to fold who just loves to call. Think about it. Trying to tell a complicated story to someone who isn't even listening, it's just a fast way to lose your entire stack. So instead of bluffing, you're going to become a master of the value bet. The blueprint is dead simple. Step 1. Make a strong hand, something like top pair with a good kicker. And because you're playing good cards to begin with, this is going to happen a lot more often. Step 2, bet. Bet on the flop, bet on the turn, bet on the river. Just keep betting. And step 3, the best part, let them call you. Your profit comes directly from them doing what they love to do, calling down with worse hands. That's the whole game right there. Okay, so we've got the strategy, we've got the tactics, but the final piece of the puzzle, the thing that holds this whole blueprint together, it has nothing to do with the cards you're holding. It's all about what's going on inside your head. Let's talk about tilt. It's probably the biggest bankroll killer out there. You know the feeling, right? You have a huge hand, you get all your money in, and some guy hits a lucky card on the river to beat you. And then you just see red. You start playing angry, making bad decisions. That's tilt, and it will cost you way more money than any single bad beat ever could. And a huge part of that mental game is being properly bankrolled. This is money you've set aside only for poker. Look at this chart. You see, poker has natural ups and downs. We call that variance. Even the best players have losing sessions. Having a proper bankroll means you can ride out those downswings without panicking and without it affecting your play. Without a proper bankroll, the game's natural swings will eventually take you out. And really, when you boil it all down, this entire system, this whole blueprint, it comes down to one word: discipline. The discipline to fold hand after hand. The discipline to wait for the right spot. The discipline to walk away when you're feeling tilted. Honestly, sometimes it can feel a little boring, but boredom is often the price you pay for consistent profit. So that really is the ultimate question, isn't it? The strategy itself, it's not complicated. Play tight, play aggressive, value bet people to death, and keep a level head. The blueprint is right here in front of you, but it's not easy because it takes a ton of patience and discipline. The path to becoming a consistent winner is all laid out. The only question left is, do you have the discipline to walk it?